Let's do Elle Fanning as Catherine the Great. Catherine successfully married to become an empress and moved from Germany to Russia, where I come from.
Of Russia.
Yep.
Russia.
I got married and moved from Russia to Germany, but something went wrong and I became just a doll creator, but with hopes of greatness.
I love that you think that.
Ever since my earliest childhood, I've always wanted to be the best at everything I set my mind to. If I wanted to achieve something, I had to do everything to achieve it. If I believe that I can make something better than it was, I will always improve, which often involves a sense of my own ineptitude, feeling of imperfection here and now, in the present moment. This process of eternal improvement is called progress, but it was also the reason for my frequent burnouts. I can't deny the benefits of self-development as a person and as a professional, no matter what the activity, but also to slip into self-abuse and suffering from excessive perfectionism. Personally, I just didn't have any straight anymore. If I realized my ineptitude to do something at the level I would like, there was also a sense of my greatness, an image of myself that already knows how to do it, but in the future moment. A goal, a dream that you still have to reach, and that motivated the movement itself from such kind of unhappiness to happiness. But it was a constant being in dissatisfaction right here, right now. I was permanently in misery, always in lack of skill, knowledge, money and self-love. That was the price for a fleeting sense of grandeur at the end of another project. Elle had a tone of cool and beautiful costumes in the film, and it wasn't hard to choose the right one for the manifestation in the doll. But choosing a costume to manifest myself for this video was a huge problem, also for 2 years. I've always struggled with an eternal battle that prevented me from creating something beautiful out of me. While researching this issue, I discovered something that helped me to find my true self. My inner critic.
Pretty.
You all know about the terrible inner critic that poisons the lives of many humans. In a previous video posted a year ago, I shared the sad story of my interaction with it. But it also helped me to find a way to the real me, without any masks and roles. During my next bout of self-criticism, I paused for the first time and allowed my inner critic to speak his mind. And suddenly, for the first time in my life, he fell silent. At that moment, I realized that he wasn't me, and that I wasn't obligated to listen or to believe every thought that entered my mind. I started listening to him as if he were a stranger on the street, trying to convince me that I couldn't or didn't want to do or wasn't worthy of something. I even found myself wondering exactly what thought would come next if I stopped participating in the first conversation scenario offered to me. I became an attentive observer of the transmission that was showing in my mind radio. I later discovered that it was a form of meditation without the actual practice of meditation. There as before, thoughts seemed to be derived from my life or my personal experience of reality. But then the fantasy images appeared on the eternal screen by themselves. I got my most important insight. The ego is just a set of thoughts I have chosen to believe in. For the next year, I've been researching my wardrobe of beliefs using a mindful approach. Did my life become easy after this? Yes and no. After observing myself from the outside, I am completely confused about who I am and what I'm going to do with my life. All of this shattered my old worldview and guideline for life. The motivational mechanism of the mind were also affected. At the same time,
all sorts of incomprehensible paranormal things started happening.
There was some bloodshed.
2,000 years later.
I was a complete atheist before these events, which is why the changes within my psyche initially seemed catastrophic. It seemed as if my body had separated from my mind and was communicated with me through a gesture, telling stories that explained things I had never thought existed. I could find lost objects as soon as I wanted to, and my hand would simply pull me along as if by a magnet. I have started to feel energy and hear voices from the collective unconscious, which have helped me to see the world from a non-just human perspective. To avoid seeming crazy even to myself, I had to build a new picture of the world through the religious teaching of the East. After that all, I had to completely rethink my creative work too. During this period, I needed to find peace and calm within myself. Dolls had recently become a source of disappointment for me. The process of creating dolls is very long, and to be honest, I didn't like most of it. Casting, sanding, assembly, but I had to.
We've had some difficulties.
But then the only motivation is the desire to achieve success. The failure to achieve that success hurts the ego.
Wow.
In my unconscious, as in Pavlov's dog, the dolls were equivalent to pain. And I didn't like pain at all. But without this pain, I would hardly to be on the path to finding my true self, beyond concepts about pain, dogs, and my purpose in life just as an artist, to which I was most attached in this world, to be honest. I used to be completely unaware of why I was so drawn to dolls. I just did what I like and that's it. And in that time, I was really happy doing them. And once I started asking myself, why dolls? I became entangled in the labyrinth of my mind for many years. Instead of becoming smart by answering all these questions, I became unhappy. And as soon as I acknowledged the inadequacy of my own mind to copy, a miracle entered my life. And instead of looking for the reason, for what was wrong in the past, the focus of attention turned to be in the present. As soon as I start to drown in my thoughts again, I bring my attention back to the world around me. I focus on seeing, hearing, and touching, as my inner teacher taught me. This brings me back to the life without suffering. He told me many other cool things that I will discuss in the future video, of course. Okay, the great is finally finished. So is my thirst for greatness. And what can I say? Life is much easier without it. Thank you for watching until the very end. Because of all changes I've experienced, I've stopped making dolls for a year and a half. My perspective on them has evolved significantly, and what can I say, dolls are here to stay. Now, however, I have a completely different understanding of myself and them. I'm opening a new chapter in my creative work, and it promises to be a real mystical. I invite everyone to visit my updated website, where you can see my old and new art. www.anchi.space. See you in the next video. Bye!